Hey, what's going on? I'm Maneli Jamal, and welcome to the full tutorial of my song called Break of Dawn. Now I can't wait for us to get started on this song. There are some big stretches in this that I want to go over that I get asked about quite a bit, and I want to demystify that with both the left and the right hand fingerings that I prefer to use, as well as some compositional tips and tricks that might help you along your own journey if you're a composer yourself. Now you don't have to use these exact fingerings, but these are the ones that I find are most optimal, especially if you're a fingerstyle player who does use all of their fingers. A song like this actually sounds easy to play, but is difficult to execute properly. And because of that, it might actually help us to connect with a piece like this that is more emotional driven rather than a technical piece. At the end of the day, we want to make music, right? So let's go out and grab your guitar and talk about the techniques we'll be using. All right, welcome back, and here we'll be talking about theme A, which I would consider the chorus of the song. This is what the whole song was based off of, and I do repeat this part several times throughout the song. Okay, let's talk about the first fingering here. Middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay, we're gonna pluck that twice with the index finger on the right hand. It's gonna be pluck, pluck. Then pinky finger's gonna go on 5. At this point, because these are melodic notes, you don't need to hold this middle finger there. It can be like this. Okay, but make sure that when you lift, there's a 2-step process to lifting a finger. You release pressure first, then you remove it from the string. Not at the same time, because here's what's going to happen. Right? You can get other strings to resonate. We don't want that. If we want to be clean players, you've got to be really mindful about this. So you can see I lifted that finger ever so slightly. Okay? Then the 5 here, pinky finger on the high E string, we're going to use the middle finger to pluck that. All right, so now in bar 13 is when we get a little bit of a tricky chord. If you're not used to using your thumb to kind of hold a specific note, any fret here on the low E string, this can be a little bit tricky. But let me just kind of guide you through that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to hold the index finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string, and the thumb is going to come around, wrap around it to touch the low E string 3rd fret. Okay, but as you're doing that, you also want to keep the middle finger there on the 3rd fret of the B string. So it really looks like this. If you're looking at my hand here, all right, this is very similar because when we're hooking it and wrapping it around, that's kind of what it looks like here. So when we go into theme A from the beginning, and then now we wrap around, we quickly move into that position. Now also I've got my ring finger here on the 4th fret of the G string. What is a good practice for you to do is to fully extend your fingers out and then try to wrap around and go into this chord, and you can play it like that. So from nothing to the chord. This is a really good way to practice how quickly you can go from nothing into the chord, and eventually you'll just naturally go there. Okay, but the hard part is the transition here, right? So think about the finger placement, what finger needs to go where. You can see this in slow motion, what's happening with my fingers. Each finger has its allocated position to go to at the same time. We're going to use the thumb to pluck, and now we are going back for this whole section here, talking about index finger on string 3, middle finger on string 2, ring finger on string 1. Okay, so this is PIMA, this is the traditional finger picking that we are so used to. Thumb will take care of the 6th string, 5th string, and the 4th string for this entire section. So when we go into 13, we're going to use here, pluck them out. We're going to pluck out string 1 and 6 together, and then pluck out the 2nd string, and then now we're going to use thumb, index, middle. Okay, so that's the rhythm. Now at bar 14, we're going to use the thumb again, then index, then thumb, index, and now middle and ring together. Make sure that when you pluck these out together, that they are equal in volume. One does not get superiority here as far as which one gets louder. Try to be balanced with these because these are double stops. Okay, so bar 12 to 14,